Well, good morning. This is Hero again. And what are we going to do today? I wanted to talk about flowering things. This is a wisteria growing in, well, it was not supposed to be wild, but it's going wild. It grows on everything. And this is a flowering crabapple. Well, be careful. If you stick one in the ground, it gets awfully big. Okay, what we're looking at is a red bud. I should have shot this about a week ago. It was better looking. What happens is they flower first and the leaves start to come on. And the leaves are coming on, so the flowers are getting a little bit on the spent side, but you kind of get an idea. These are very common as street trees. So this one is growing in my yard. And what I thought I'd do is show you as a bonsai, or potential bonsai, because I have some that will become bonsai in the future. Okay, what we have is red bud and training. Okay, you see the string? Well, a lot of these, they go kind of up. And I wanted to bring the emphasis down, so I started to do the sort of the weeping style here. And I think it's starting to come together. So you can make bonsai out of red bud. Okay, this is the flowering quince in training. It has a good potential to become a good bonsai. Needs trimming again. So, well, this won't be in the high priority area. Let's just say that I still got 2,000 more to trim again. It's not like you trim it once and it's done. Okay, back in the studio. What we're looking at is nice Wisteria Bonsai. I think we saw this about 3 years ago when I finally put it into this mica pot. If I'm not mistaken, it was kind of growing wild in a container, a nursery container, and I started shaping, and it did not flower. This is the first year that it's flowering. Now, on the wisteria, typically they bloom first and then the leaves come on. I saw the blooms starting, but I waited, and then, well, it got warm, so the foliage started. So it's not as dramatic as it could be. Well, you know, Hero does some crazy things. Why am I showing you this dirty pot? Well, this white represents calcium. And if you want wisteria to bloom, especially around here where it gets very hot and dry, you have to have it soaking in water through the summer months. That's how I got the stain on it. And well, just regular watering will keep the plant alive, but it needs so much water that if it's not sufficient, then it won't bloom the next year. So this has been sitting in water for the last 2 to 3 years that I've. So the whole trick is through the summer months, during the growing season, it has to have adequate water. And you know, there's only 2 plants that could sit in water. One is the willow and one is the wisteria. And if you don't do that, it won't bloom the next year. Well, less likely chance of blooming the next year. So finally, last year I was going to try to do a video, but there was no flower. It just sat there, and it was nice and healthy. This year, finally, I saw the flower buds, and I said, I better get ready. Perhaps I should have shot it about a week ago, when it was mostly just flower and no leaves. But you still get an idea, right? See this thing? That's the seed pod. So, well, if it has seed pod, it must have had some flowers last year, but not showy though. Anyway, that's the seed pod. And those of you that want to start to grow your own wisteria, you could take the seeds, and most of the time they come up. The problem is they say that from seed, it takes minimum of 7 years before it blooms. That's if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, it'll take you even longer. So anyway, those of you young enough, go ahead and try it. Those of us that are more mature, you probably don't want to go that route. Okay, let's talk a little bit about styling of wisteria. Okay, now this has a pretty nice presentation, but look over here on this branch. If you isolate this branch, it would be like a very slant style. And this is my personal opinion, of course. If you do it slant, see how the blooms droop down? You could show off the bloom better when it's like that. Versus, look at this main line, the one that goes almost straight up. That one, see, the flower blooms on itself, so it's a little more confusing to me. So if you only had one line, then I would say try to make it into slant style, and then I think you could show off your bloom a little bit better. But like I was saying, it's a personal opinion. And then this one here has all kinds of stuff, so it's working together. But I always thought that wisteria should be mainly to show off the flowers. And flowers dangle down, so slant style. See, you could really show off the flower without other stuff obstructing the view. That's okay. So, but these grow fast. It's just that to get it to bloom, you have to make sure it has adequate water. Those of you in hot, humid area probably don't have to worry about what I've been telling you. You probably shouldn't put too much nitrogen type fertilizer. And they say that these should be slightly root bound. Those of you that like to repot all the time, that might work against you. So anyway, you can see that it's in a unclean pot, but it bloomed. So now this will go back into full sun and sitting in a tray of water. And then hopefully next year even gets better than this. Okay, so let's go take a look at some of our other projects. Okay, before I sign off, I wanted to show you our wisteria projects in progress. Remember this one here was a big one that I split. Okay, so this one looks like it's coming back, and there's a new shoot towards the apex, so we have a good chance. These small ones are always easy. This one over here, I think should take, but I don't see anything yet except the nice weed that's growing. And then another little one here is okay. This one here, this is a root cutting, and I really want this to take because I did a sketch. I think I showed you before. Something like this could be shaped up. So if we could get, let's see, right here, this area to grow, that'll be great. But it's not looking so promising. And then looking at this other one from a different angle, yeah, it's not looking too promising. But wisterias are really tough, and they'll start sprouting out of, well, especially least expected, and so you'll stick around here for at least another year. So today we saw the wisteria, red bud, and flowering quince. We'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So this is Cyril saying goodbye. Thank you for watching, and please tell your friends and subscribe.